Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow, 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 ow.
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you mothers out there. Good morning, brothers and sisters. And this especially includes all of you mothers out there who may be enjoying us for the first time, wherever you may be and wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be, but there you are. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCM, LIX. Happy Mother's Day to you. Let us begin, as always, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah, y'all. That's right. That's a little slow on the fuck yes, but if you said it, that's good enough for me. I don't need to hear it. I just need to know you feel it. Do you feel the fuck yes? You feel it? All right, that's good enough for me. Lord have mercy. Now, brothers and sisters, there we go. There we go. There's a slight delay. I know it happened. The Lord forgot to buy his mother a gift today, and he was busy online trying to order something real quick. And I know exactly what we talked about this in our evening service last night. See, he forgot, and there's no way the order's going to get there in time today. No way. But there's a solution to that, which I'll tell you about later, a little bit later in the prayer. But there is a solution, and we've been doing it for a year or two now, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 12. I can't remember, but we can fix that for you. But in the meantime, please bow your heads unless you're driving your car or your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes and envision me naked. Nope. I meant to say, I'll envision you naked. Nope. Let Jesus do the driving while we pray. That's it. So close your eyes or bow your heads or just do this. You can just do this. I'll trust you. Just do that. Dear Lord, please bless all of those mothers that have come to be, those that are coming to be, and those who didn't come at all but still got pregnant. That's a lot of coming in that sentence. That's like 3 or 4 times it came in that sentence. Yeah, 3, 4. It's a good sentence. Good sentence. Good, strong, opening sentence. Yes, it is. Bless those mothers who received their title with great deliberation. Those who did so without that same deliberation, that is to say, by oops, condom broke, or oops, the pill didn't work, or oops, the sponge fell out, or oops, is that my diaphragm on the floor? Damn it. Bless those who were sober when they conceived, or those who were not as sober when they conceived. Those who conceived in the comfort of their bed or the discomfort of a flatbed. Bless them all. Bless those who willingly gave birth, reluctantly gave birth, and those in the southern states where they didn't have a choice. Bless them all. Bless those mothers who raised us with a partner or without a partner. or despite of their partner. We know, Lord, we know rearing a child isn't easy, especially since that is not where they come from. So why do we call it rearing and not badging or even wombing? Wombing could work. Yes, indeed. Can I get a little womb cervix? Indeed, indeed. Lord have mercy. Bless all of those mothers. And if they are no longer among us, please bless the memories that we have of them and the legacies and legacies that they left behind. You see what I did there? Legacies and legacies they left behind. Am I clever or what the fuck am I doing? Why am I stuck here? Why am I stuck here behind this collar where I should be a poet laureate? A poet that gets paid to poetize. That's it. I should be able to monetize my poetize. That's it. My Lord have mercy. Can I get an umbilical cord? Preferably an A major. That's what I'm talking about. And Lord, do not bless those mothers that we call mothers for other reasons. Do not bless them. Like that mother who cut me off in traffic the other day. Lord have mercy. Don't know where they were going, but don't care if they got there or not. They were just crazy mothers. Don't. And it was a guy. Don't bless them. Don't bless them. Don't bless that guy. Don't bless the one like that mother who stole my parking space. Don't bless them. Don't bless those mothers that steal parking spaces. They see you blinking. They see your car blinking. They see your intention, but they just got a smaller car or smaller ethics or a smaller will to live. They just go right into their space. Don't make sense. I don't know why they do it. Don't bless them. Lord, don't bless those mothers that hack into our accounts and hold them hostage or just want to fuck with them because they can. Don't bless them. Don't bless those mothers. As a matter of fact, I wish them ill. I wish them all kinds of ill. I wish them the kind of ills that would send me to a bad place. And I'm not talking about hell. I'm talking about the liquor cabinet. That's a real bad place for me. Some real dark times. Some real bad places. But don't bless them. Do not bless them peoples. Do not. Lord have mercy. Do not bless those who disrespected me and called me a klutz and a heathen, even if that was my own mother. Don't bless them. Don't bless them. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's what I'm saying. Not every mother needs to be blessed today. Not every mother needs to be recognized today. And we're only going to recognize the mothers in the first half of this prayer and not the mother in the last quarter of this prayer or fifth. It's probably an eighth. I didn't count the words. I hope you were, because there's going to be a test later on. Lord, put it upon the hearts and in the wallets of about 100 people to buy tickets for my live show, Blessings and Blasphemy, on May 16th at the Church of Satire Comedy Club in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Can I get a sellout? And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. They are truly doing your work, helping to spread your word throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, but they are here, wishing they were anywhere today. Amen. Amen. I feel you. I feel you, dog. I feel you. And that really ought to count for something, Lord. It should. MindDogTV.com, the place to go to get your Church of Last Resort gear, and also for today only, they're offering a service where if you were like the Lord and you forgot to order a gift for your mother, and today's the day that it should arrive, for a small fee, you can call us and we will pretend to be a delivery person, Amazon, UPS, wherever you ordered your stuff late from, you just let us know. You say, I ordered flowers, but I ordered them today. They're not going to see them till the next week. And so you let us know, and we'll say something like this. What's your mother's last name? Smith? Okay. Say, good morning. What's her first name? Evelyn? Okay. And this is what we'll do. We'll call her. We'll go, hello, Miss Evelyn Smith. Hi, I am a representative from the florist from Ava's Florist in Ava's, New Mexico. We forgot to. It is our fault. Your son, little boy Smith, forgot to. No, he ordered your stuff way in advance. I mean, like last year, and we lost the order, and we apologize, but it is not his fault. So we are calling you to let you know he did think of you, and he did order you flowers, and they're on the way. They're just going to be a little late, and we humbly apologize. See, and that's it. And then we hang up. See, and that way, your mother will call you and say, little boy Smith, you're not going to believe this. Those flowers that you ordered for me last month, they got lost in the mail. They just called me and apologized. And you can say, what? Lord have mercy. What kind of people do that? This is Mother's Day. How could they mess up an order like that? I planned all this time for that order. How did they mess that up? Oh, Lord have mercy. See? And then she could say, that's okay, baby. That's why you thought of me. And that's all that matters. It's the thought that counts. That's okay. I'll get those flowers when they get here. I just know that you thought enough to love me and send me the flowers. See? And that way, you're happy, they're happy, but you make sure you send those damn flowers. Okay? Don't make us look like liars. We've already lied for you once. Don't make us lie for you again. Lord have mercy. Because if you do, we will lie. We will lie and wait for your ass, and we will get our money, and we will beat your ass and make you tell the truth. We'll beat your ass and drag you to your mama's house and say, ma'am, he made us do this. He paid us. It's like force. Once you pay somebody, it's almost like using force. When you pay somebody to do something, you might as well take a club and hit them over the head because they don't have a choice anymore. And so he paid us. So we had to lie to you. We are sorry. That got a little off track, but that's okay because that's what tracks are for. They're like rules. They're meant to be broken. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it's like. And Lord have mercy. Out of respect for all of the mothers out there, please, 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 let us have a little bump for the mothers and for the Lord. Amen. Yeah. Tastes like toilet water. But that's okay. Because the Lord blessed it. Even if it tastes like toilet water, that's good water. That's holy water. Holy inappropriate water. Holy inappropriate sound effect for water. That's what that was. But that's okay. Because this is live. All the way live. Like the song says, live, all the way live. Okay, sorry. I don't know where that comes from because I don't know all the words of that song. I just know that one part. I have to hum the rest. Call it a homophobe. That's right. Homophone. Homophobe. Yeah, that's it. So, brothers and sisters, let us end this prayer the same way we began it. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah. Brothers and sisters, But I'm going to ask you to indulge me a little bit like this. Before we start our sermon, I'm going to ask the people behind the scenes to play a little promotion for my show just to get you in the mood for the show and for the rest of the day. So if they could just hit, here we go. Hit it. Brothers and sisters, this is the disembodied voice of the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, MTM, LIX, EIEIO. Come see Blessings and Blasphemy, an interactive comedy experience featuring me, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, at the pulpit and you in the pews. Hear hilarious sermons, receive thy blessings, confess thy sins, and play games to win forgiveness. It's not about faith, it's about fun. Tickets for this May 16th comedy show are $10 online at churchofsatirecomedyclub.com and $15 at the door. The door and the rest of the club is located at 106 Broadway, Hanover, Pennsylvania. Seating is general admission, and this show is for people 18 and over. Doors open at 7 p.m. DST. Show begins at 7:30 p.m. CPT. To paraphrase REM, you don't have to lose your religion, but you may want to leave it at the door. And now for a disclaimer. Games are consensual and non-binding unless requested. All other Church of Satire rules apply. And in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lord have mercy. You know, today's sermon is one that I was looking so forward to. Not was, is, am. Well, it's here. So I'm no longer looking forward to it. I'm just doing it because it's not forward. It's here. It's right now. It's going on right now. Well, not right now, but it's going to be. So I guess I am still looking forward to it. Here's the deal. Today's sermon is in honor of Mother's Day, okay? It is not often that Mother's Day falls on a Sunday, and I am actually in a position to talk to people about Mother's Day, okay? I'm not going to talk to you about the origins of Mother's Day, how it actually started, because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how it started because I don't remember that story anyway. I think I remember parts of it, but I may get it mixed up with one of the other days because like every day is somebody's day for something, you know, and so it doesn't always make sense why they have their days. I understand why mothers have their days. What I want to talk about is how mothers have been so dishonored in mythology. Okay, now just something very simple. This is very simple. I think everybody in the world, no, I take that back. Not everybody in the world. Many people in the world know where babies come from. Many people, 3 or 4 million, 3 or 4 billion, no. The rest still kind of confused. Here's the deal, as we say in church. Why or how did it get to be such a thing that people began to tell their children that storks brought the babies? You ever wonder about that? How in the hell did storks get burdened with that chore? At least in mythology. Now, what we do know is that the myth of storks delivering babies, I'm saying no, because I'm saying, well, as far as everybody, as far as scientifically goes, the scientists, as far as the science goes, the myth of the storks delivering babies probably began in Europe, and where many storks spend their breeding season. Uh, and in medieval times, that's the times back before actually the word is medieval, right? Medieval? Medieval. But at any rate, a long time ago, couples would marry during the summer solstice, believing that summer was the time of fertility. Okay? That's what they did. They got married. Now, that's not to say that that's when they started having sex. That's just when they married. So I guess the other times they were having sex before and after wasn't for fertility. They were just, for pleasure. But to be fertile, they got married during the summer solstice. Now, the research suggests that the legend goes back to pagan times when civilizations were keen to have high birth rates and very high, what do they call it? It says high birth rates, but I'm pretty sure they had a high miscarriage rate also. I'm just saying it's science. I mean, we got high miscarriage rates now, and we got medicine, but maybe the medicine is what's causing a high miscarriage rate. That's another show. Let's talk about mothers. Okay? And the myths of storks and babies was forged by the birds' return in the spring when the babies were born. Now, here's the funny thing about that. It's not that the storks and the babies forged it. It was actually a forgery because those stories aren't real. Okay, storks don't bring babies. I don't know why my research says forged and it should be forgeried, but that's okay. All right, now storks have been associated with babies for centuries. All right, now some accounts go back to a legend in Greek mythology and Hera, the wife of Zeus. Now, for those of you, here's a picture of Hera. I'm just teasing. I don't have a picture of Hera. Maybe Scarlet O'Hara, but not Hera, the wife of Zeus, and the goddess of women, marriage, family, and childbirth, who became jealous of the mortal pygmy queen, Gerena. Yeah. Okay. Now, first of all, Hera is a great big old goddess. Okay. And I guess you can tell by the sheer title of Gerena that she, being a pygmy queen, she was only about this big. Why was Hera so jealous of her? Because she could give Zeus something she could not. Zeus was a god, okay, a Greek god. And Zeus, being a god, needed to feel superior to mortal men. So he could have had sex with any woman he wanted. As a matter of fact, I think he had sex with many women, mortal women. But mortal women just made him feel like a mortal man. But he saw this beautiful pygmy woman and went, because she was described as flawless. She was described as a flawless beauty, okay? And so Zeus saw her and went, whoa, she's beautiful and small? My package is going to look huge next to that pygmy woman. And that's why he, went that way. That's why Hera was jealous. It's not because of the woman's beauty. It was because of her size, because she could make Zeus feel like Hera could not. Gerena made Zeus feel huge, and Hera made Zeus feel average, if that. That's one of those things they don't tell you in elementary school when they're teaching you about mythology. They don't teach you that, and they should. You should have all of the facts when you're disrespecting another culture's myth. You should have every fact, so that when you disrespect them, It seems like you know what you're talking about. Like now, seems like I know what I'm talking about. Now, Hera was scorned. Scorned? I've got too many N's in there. Hera was scorned, and because of that, she turned Urana into a stork, okay, and commanded her to fly away. You know, like in Silence of the Lamb. You know, when Hannibal Lecter says to Agent Starling, he goes, fly, 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 fly. That's what Hera did. Hera said, Urana, fly, 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 fly. And as a matter of fact, Urana was the first fly girl before in Living Color. And then they adapted that later. For a little while, all of the fly girls were called Urana girls, but nobody got that reference. But they knew what fly meant. So there we go. But Urana did not want to leave her newborn baby. The newborn baby who was fathered by Zeus. Okay. The text says may have been fathered by Zeus. So now they're trying to say that she don't know whose baby it is. There's an old saying that we have in the church. It says, mama's baby, papa's maybe. Okay. I don't know who's the first to say that. I don't know who will be the last to say it. But everybody knows who the mama is by just being there. But once it gets out there, they don't know who the father is. 90% of the time, the mother does know. She probably had a DNA. No, an NDA. She had the DNA, that's what made the baby. But she had an NDA, which asked her, Zeus says, look, you sign this NDA so that you do not tell anybody this is my baby. All right. And I will make sure that you are taken care of. Just don't tell people where the baby came from. And so what she did was she wrapped the baby in a blanket, picked him up in her beak, and carried him off while being chased by members of her own tribe. That's a damn shame. She was the queen, but because she was turned into a stork by Hera, they chased her off. Just chased her. Her own members. See, members can be a bad thing because it was Zeus's member that got her in this mess, you know, and now there are a bunch of other members chasing her off. That's despicable. Despicable. Now, in Egypt mythology, storks are associated with birth as well. Now, I don't know why. There was an ancient Egyptian deity, Bennu, Bennu. Who's represented by a stork, okay, who flew over the waters of Noon that existed before creation. Now, here's the funny thing. If they existed before creation, where did they come from? If creation had not happened, how did the waters be there? Okay, and who? Okay, I'm just saying. This is their myth, not mine. I would have been a little bit more. Let's just say I could tell a better lie than that. I can construct a better lie. It'll make sense. You don't have all those contradictions. Okay, but before landing on a rock, all right, which was also there before creation, and issuing a cry, which determined what was to be included in the unfolding world. See, here's again, there was a river and a rock, but they hadn't made the world yet. And this is the spot that they started right there. I'm sorry. See, that's why Egyptian mythology, nobody knows about it. They have like a couple of, they have the Mummy and Scorpion King. Other than that, nobody knows anything about Egyptian mythology. You know, they know a few words, buzzwords like Almighty Isis. Yeah, but now that's been taken over by a terrorist group. So nobody even says Almighty ISIS anymore. You know, and even ISIS didn't used to be called ISIS. They were Daesh, but that translates to the words shit. And they go, we can't have people calling us shit. Shit is what we do, not who we are. Well, shit is what we do and what you feel like when we're around, but we don't want to be called that. So they changed it to ISIS. Yeah. That's beside the point. Or that may be the closest thing I come to a point for the rest of the day. Could be possible. Now, here's the deal, another deal. He said, Reverend, there's a lot of deals when you talk. You're right, there's a lot of deals, and hopefully they're good deals. The kind of deals you get when you go to minddogtv.com. Those are some good deals. Everything right now is 15% off, I think. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I'm never wrong. I'm just mistaken. It just looks like I'm wrong, but I'm just mistaken. Put that in your bank for future reference in case you ever think I'm wrong. Okay. Now, here's the thing about Jurena. Okay. There's been recent research that suggested that Jurena was actually transformed into a crane and not a stork. Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. See, a crane, not a stork. That's because archaeological evidence shows that a large species of now extinct heron that lived in the Arabian Peninsula is more likely to have been the inspiration for Bennu. How you like that? A crane does all the heavy lifting, and the stork gets the credit. My God, my God, my God. That even in the animal kingdom, there is such injustice. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Crane does all the heavy lifting and the stork gets the credit. And it's just like that when women do all the heavy birthing and the stork gets credit. It's not right. It's not right. Now, there's another species of bird that have been confused with the stork, and which gave rise to the idea that storks are connected with bringers of life. And this is the pelican. That's right. In Catholicism, it's a mother pelican feeding her chicks is deeply symbolic. That's right. In Catholicism. In Catholicism, it's not a stork, it's a pelican. And I bet you a lot of Catholic women who don't want their kids to know about where the babies come from do not say to their kids, a pelican brought the baby. They still say stork. Stork is getting a lot of credit for things it didn't do. I'm starting I'm starting to admire stork for his ability to take credit for shit he didn't do. He's kind of like a politician almost. There's other things do the work, and the stork goes, ta-da! I built a road. He never lifted a shovel. Ta-da! I provided. I vote. Nope, didn't even vote for it. That he just taking credit. All right. So in Catholicism, this is how the story goes. Is that a brood of young pelican chicks became increasingly violent towards their mother, who was selflessly caring for them. Okay, and they attacked the mother. They attempted to peck her eyes out and mutilate her in anger. And mutilate her. Okay, now if that were, let's say, not a pelican, but let's say a black eagle, she'd have said, bitch, please, just like that. But a pelican, well, she got angry and she retaliated by killing her young with her sharp beak. Okay, and after 3 days, don't know why 3 days, but that comes around a lot in biblical stories. and non-biblical stories. But after 3 days, she regretted what she had done and pierced her own boobie, drawing blood. She went, boop. Only she did like this, boop, with her, oh, that hurts. With her neck, with her beak, she did that. And she popped the boobie, okay? And blood gushed out of the boobie, okay? And as the blood dripped on her chicks, the chicks returned to life. And then she died, having made the ultimate sacrifice for her children. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask the people behind the scenes to show you a picture and a slide of what they think a pelican looks like. Okay, I got two pictures. This drawing is called the Pelican Piety. Okay, and if you look at the bottom there you see all this Latin stuff, which I don't know what it says because I didn't take Latin. I took Pig Latin. But that's what they think a pelican looks like. Does that look like a pelican to you? It don't look like a pelican to me. We know that pelicans have like the long beaks and the gullets underneath. Unless I don't know what a pelican looks like. Okay? But this is the kind of art that was appearing on stained glass and jewelry and windows and paintings and stuff like that. This. And if they could show you the next one, it's a statue. The next slide, there's only two slides. The second slide is the slide after this one. So, or not. There you go. You see that? That is a statue of what they think a pelican looks like. Now you know why things get so confused. That's the person who drew it not because they ever saw a pelican, or shouldn't say drew that. That drawing and that statue probably done by people who have never ever seen a pelican. They were just told the story and they just said, yeah, thank you. That's what an actual pelican looks like. See that? That was beautiful. Thank you. I guess I could have done that, but I didn't think of showing you what a real pelican looked like because I just assumed that you, unlike the artist, knew what pelicans look like. See, that was my bad. And that's why I have such a great crew behind the scenes because they didn't know I was going to do this. We didn't have like a show thing, a show talk when people talk before a show. You know, he shows up, I show up, they show up, we show up, I show up, we all show up. And then as the show rolls along, it goes, shit, he's talking about pelicans. Let me Google that. Bam, pelican, just like that. That's why we have the best behind the scenes crew in the world. The very best. And I'm not just saying that because he controls the audio and the video and the horizontal and the vertical, like the outer limits. And I'm not saying that because I'm scared shitless of him. I'm saying it because it's true. And I'm scared shitless of him. Now, the other thing that is certain about these myths, okay, and I'm going to bring this back around, just like that, to mothers, okay? The thing that we know for certain about these myths is that no matter where the myth came from, where these and other myths about babies come from, like Cabbage Patches and shit like that, we know for certain that a man created those myths. That's right. Not a woman. It was not a woman. We know this because no one that has gone through the ordeal of going through labor is going to give credit to a bird or cabbage or anything else other than their own womb. Bam! Just like that. That bam! Okay? Insert your myth right here. It does not matter what myth you have. A woman is not going to give credit to those things for giving birth. I can tell you now, I remember going to do something a little different here, something you're not used to. I'm going to make this about me for a second. When I was a child, a little bit of a child, I was probably in my family, the 4 kids. I was the least fucked up of all 4 kids. I was the least fucked up. And the reason why I was the least fucked up, I'm not saying I'm not fucked up. I'm saying I was the least fucked up. The reason why is because in order for parents to truly fuck up a kid, when they tell their lies have to agree so that their child believes the lie, grows up believing the lie, and then finds out later that their parents lied. See, that's how a lot of the fucking up gets done. Because the parents collude with the truth or with their lies. They say, we're going to collude and teach them about Santa Claus. And the kid grows up believing in Santa Claus or fearing Santa Claus or loving Santa Claus. And then all of a sudden, one of his friends go, you know, there's no such thing as Santa Claus. And the kid is terrorized because his friend is his friend. And the parents are the parents. And their child goes back to the parents and say, is there a Santa Claus? And now the parents, especially if they have other younger kids, they're like, whoa, we can't tell the oldest one there's no Santa Claus because they'll tell the younger ones and we'll lose control. So it's a concerted effort to, don't tell me you didn't know there's no Santa Claus. Oh, come on. Weren't you listening the first or second or third episode when I told you there was no Santa Claus back when I said it the first time? Lord have mercy. I'm not playing that tape again, but fuck, there is no Santa Claus. All right, here we go. So parents collude and they tell their children about the Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and all those things. And that's how they really fuck up their children. But when I was a young child, my parents didn't get along. So they couldn't agree on any fucking thing, okay? One said there was a Santa Claus. The other one said, hell no, ain't no Santa Claus. I work too goddamn hard. Ain't no Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? So that's, well, come to think of it, no, that is something they agreed on. They did agree on the Santa Claus thing. And maybe the Tooth Fairy. But they may not have had to agree on the Tooth Fairy because I just don't think my father was paying attention that my teeth were dropping out. No, I tell you what, this is nothing to do with anything, but I just, when I was young, my father was a very good cook. He could cook better than my mother, and my mother would be the first one to tell you that. My father was a very good cook. And he used to make very tender steaks and sirloins and liver, so tender it's almost melt in your mouth. I used to love that stuff. And it just so happened that I was going through the stage where I was losing teeth. Like, you know, you sneeze and one of my baby teeth would fall out. Okay, that's just how it was. And some of you may have gone through that phase in your life. Or you may still have the baby teeth. You may be a grown man and you got the baby teeth. That reminds me of another story. I'll tell you that one later because it's kind of dirty. But so I was eating and the tooth was loose, and I noticed it was loose. I pulled it out so I could finish eating. And when I pulled the tooth out, just as I pulled the tooth out, my father walks in the kitchen and he goes, "What's that in your hand?" And I looked at him. I was about 6 or 7 years old, maybe 8. I wasn't older than that because my teeth started falling out when I was in the first grade, which means I was 5. And they stopped falling out when I was about 6 or 7. Yeah. So, but you can round up. It was around that time. My father walks in and he goes, and besides, he was dead when I was 8. So I know it didn't happen after that because he walked into the room. So he says, "What you got in your hand?" And I showed him. I said, "Dad, look." I said, "This food's so tough, it pulled one of my teeth out." And my father lost his shit. He goes, "Boy, I know damn well my food didn't do that. I got the tenderest steak," and he just goes on about how tender his meat is. And he goes, "Boy, my meat is so tender, you put it in your mouth, it is not going to damage your teeth." Now, if he said that today, somebody go like, "What'd you say to your child? Put my meat in your..." No, say, but back then it was acceptable to threaten your child with putting your meat in his mouth. That was acceptable back then. You can't say that anymore. But like I said, my parents were very argumentative. So when I asked my father, I said, Dad, where do babies come from? My father said, uh, well, when a man and a woman love each other very much, they touch. And sometimes, if that touch is strong enough, the stork will bring a baby in 9 months. That's what my father told me. Didn't make sense because I've watched them touch. Usually it was like this, but they were still touching, right? And some of those punches were pretty damn strong. So I know they were strong touches. And she didn't have babies after that. So it didn't make sense. So I asked my mother, I said, Mom, where do babies come from? And she says, Son, if you're talking about the east side of Baltimore, they probably came from your father. I know. The point is, they did not agree about where babies came from. My father said they came from the stork, and my mother said all the babies on the east side of Baltimore came from my father. They didn't agree. So that's how and why, when parents, in order for parents to fuck children up, they have to agree. Okay, they have to agree on what they're talking about, how they're going to delude their children. So that's how we know a man thought of the lie that the storks or the cabbages brought babies, because going through labor is too difficult for women to give credit to someone else. They want you. Matter of fact, many mothers to this day, no matter how old the child is, if the child is difficult enough, the mother will play the womb card. They will say, I went through, bam, 30 hours of labor to bring your ass into this world, and this is how you treat me? They don't get angry and go, bam, that stork flew 400 miles to deliver your little fat ass, and this is how you treat me? No, they don't do that. That's because they want credit for what they went through, okay? They want credit for all the shit that some of them have breastfed and they had a baby or two and their breasts used to be firm and supple, and now they had 2 or 3 kids and their breasts are like knee pads, okay? Now some women are blessed and they have like 9 kids and the breasts just stay up there, defying science, defying gravity, define the laws of nature, and define the Lord himself. Just defiant breasts. God bless them. Lord love a defiant breast. That's what I'm saying. Some of them just don't sag, with age. They just stay perky. Now, some of them stay up there because they got the help with the silicones and stuff, the implant stuff, but that's okay. I do not begrudge anyone who does that route. I don't do it. I say bless them all. Bless all the tatas. Tata Awareness Month, starting January, ending in December. Now, so the mothers are not the ones that started those lies. It's the men. Now, some of them think of it, they probably thought of it the first time they had to deliver a baby, and they went in, and they're like, because usually there was the women help women deliver the babies. It was like, because they know what they're doing. They all had the same parts, and they get like, hey, okay, girls, let's get together. She's about to go into labor, and they got together and they either put them in a tub, put them in the river, put them in the grass, put them in the dirt, or maybe they just plopped them out, while they were working, picked up the baby, slung it over his shirt, and kept on working just like that. But the women got together and they did that. So they knew what was going on. And the men weren't around. They just like saying, is it there yet? Is it there yet? Is it there yet? And as soon as the baby's born, they go, there you go. That's my boy. That's my girl. Everybody here, have a magic marker. There you go. Here's one for you. Have a magic marker. Because I didn't have any cigars in my pocket. I didn't know I was going to be doing that. If I'd known, I'd have had a cigar in my pocket. I don't know what I was doing there because I don't smoke cigars. But if you smoke, if you got one, smoke them, especially if you just had a kid. Congratulations. So the men just sat outside and waited for the news. Boy or girl, you know, look like me or look like my neighbor. And I think that's why babies don't look like anybody when they're born, because just in case that's not the actual father, you can't go, that baby don't look anything like me. That's why almost all babies look like aliens when they're born. Almost all of them. They look like little wrinkly aliens, little wrinkly, bloody aliens. So that way, no matter, you can't just go, that's not my baby. Unless they really step outside, let's say, the traditional race of the father. So then you might be able to tell. But even then, babies are almost all of them are all reddish, pink, purple color. You can't even tell their race until they've been scrubbed up. So that's beside the point. Race is a social construct anyway. It doesn't really exist. Just shades of beauty. That's all we are, just shades of beauty. So my point is that in the Bible, it says, honor thy mother and thy father. I say, at least thank them, because we are here because of that. How we were raised, that's another issue. Today's sermon is called Mothers, Perfectly Imperfect. Okay? Mothers, Perfectly Imperfect. And I say that because not one mother has done the perfect job at raising their kid. And not one kid has turned out the way their mother expected them to. Regardless of what they say, it's okay to admit it. It's all right. The thing is, we're all human. That's what makes us perfect. Okay? We're perfect because we're imperfect. We're perfect because we each have an opportunity to be something unique, perfectly unique. Okay? Yes, you may not have the beautiful hair that I have. That's okay. Because I may not have your intellect. Well, actually, I probably do. I may not. I don't know. The thing is, we all are different and we're all blessed, but we all have one thing in common. Mothers. There's a woman somewhere out there that gave birth to us. And regardless of how flawed they may be in life, they are still your mothers. Mothers. Not the horses that run through the mud. Not mudders, mudders. That's for Preakness and Belmont and Kentucky Derby. Then we'll talk about mothers, which I think Preakness is next Saturday. I don't know. I lose track of those things. Let's talk about mothers. Mothers. I don't know if you remember this. When you were a kid, a lot of kids in school around Mother's Day did one of three things, or maybe all of the three things. They either wrote a poem called Mother, and they took the word mother, like M-O-T-H. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to try to do this. For those of you who can't spell, they said M-O-T-H-E-R. And then for each of those letters, they go, M is for such and such. Let's say money. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. And then the O is for the oatmeal that you make me for breakfast, And T is for the time that we spent together. Blah, 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 blah. H is because you are my hero. E is because I don't remember. E is the envy that everybody has because you are my mom and not theirs. And R is thanking you that you did not reject me when you had the chance. You kept me and you carried me through the term. Okay, that's mother. Everybody had to write those little things. Okay, and then there's but it's not the same in every culture. Even though the word mother is different, the sentiment is always the same. For example, if you were in another country, instead of mother, you might write mère. Okay, or that's French, mère. Or if you were in, let's say, Spain, I think it is, it's madre, right? Like that. I think that's it. Or if you're in the country that I come from, Baltimore, it's Muthah, mother. Okay. I'm sorry, I just misspelled it. It's you. AH is you're in Boston, I think it is. Mother. Okay. So but we all had to write the poems. That's the point. The point is we all had those little poems where we had to write out the word for mother and you write a little poem for it. Okay. We all did it. That's one of the things that almost everybody did in school. The almost other thing we did was we made little jewelry boxes out of macaroni. With decorating them with macaroni. Okay, you got the a little cigar box or some kind of little shoe box or some kind of usually a cigar box. I had a little flipper thing that goes like this, and you paint it, you decorate it with paper and stuff, and then you put macaroni and you decorate it like it says mom or mother or something on that. We did that too. Okay, and the other thing that I think everybody did for in elementary school was maybe the little cutouts of like a heart thing. You cut it out and you unfold it, and it says mom or mother or hearts and flowers, shit like that. Maybe tissue paper flowers, a bouquet of flowers made out of tissue paper with pipe cleaners. Those are the things we did. That's something we all have in common, not just having a mother. But don't be cheap. Don't do that anymore. That does not fly. Don't do that anymore. Don't. Right now, you go out and you spend some decent money for your moms if they're still around. I think I've said everything I could possibly say about mothers. Well, not everything I could have said, because I got some stories. My Lord, I've got some stories about some of the mothers that I've encountered over the years. And so some of them bring good memories. I'm married to a wonderful mother, Amona. She is like a great mom. I love her to pieces. She's not my mom. That would be wrong if we were together like that. But she is a mother. She's just not mine. And she's a good mother to our kids, Cinnamon and Jelly Jr. So to all of you mothers out there, we thank you and we appreciate you. So thank you all. We hope you enjoy this Mother's Day special, and subscribe to the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll YouTube channels. on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Amona, my kids Cinnamon and Jelly Jr., our cat Tootsie, and our dog Stop Dropping, I wish you safe travels and hope you'll join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time on MindDogTV.com with the rest of the Mind Dog TV family. Bless you, and as always, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck? Yeah.
Fuck yeah!